Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me today. Today's practice, we're going to wake up the spine in 6 directions. We're going to do flexion, extension, a gentle twist, and a side-to-side motion. And the beauty of this is that it will help maintain the flexibility of your spine. And if you're familiar with that old saying, you're as young as your spine is flexible, this will build into your youthfulness. So join me on all fours, table pose. Now when you come into table, you want your knees to be as wide as your hips. If you have them too close, you'll get stuck. If you have them too wide, it'll just feel silly, yeah? So you bring the knees as wide as the hips, and the feet can point behind you. Now the hands, you place them beneath the shoulders, but to get into specifics, you want the center of your wrist lined up with the outer edge of your shoulder. And if that gets, really confusing, you can have a mirror in front of you, or you just approximate. The next thing is you imagine a line from the center of the wrist, and it goes forward between the second and the middle finger. And you want that imaginary line from center of wrist that goes between second and third finger to point directly to the edge of your sticky mat. Now as your fingers are set up, now press down through the mound of the index finger, the mound of the thumb, the mound of the pinky finger, and the outer heel of the hand. Who knew all these little alignment details? It'll make a difference though. As you press through the 4 corners of the hands, you'll be able to create a little arch beneath the palm itself. And then on the next exhale, scoop the tailbone, head heavy, draw the belly in. And on the inhale, roll the sit bones to the sky, lifting the head. Exhale, round, tummy toned. Inhale, soften belly, open chest. Exhaling, round. Inhaling, open. And when you exhale this time, whisper ah. Inhale through the nose. Exhaling. Inhaling through the nose. Continuing your pace. Breathing steady breaths, knowing that this is a very soothing, sweet, and simple practice to release tension in the back, to wake you up if you're feeling stiff in the morning, or even in the evening if you're feeling achy after a long day. Last time, rounding. Last time, opening. Good. Now threading the needle, you're going to take your left arm out to the side, up to the sky, and then like you're threading a needle, take that left arm between right arm and thigh. You come to elbow, shoulder, and maybe the side of your head. Now if your head doesn't make the floor, you're going to place a pillow or a block, something underneath it to support the weight of your head. Then come up onto your right fingertips. And as you come onto your right fingertips, press the fingers down and draw the head of the right shoulder back. And as you draw the head of the right shoulder back, keep your outer right hip tacked back. You're doing a gentle twist from your left ribs. A deep breath. And one more. And then on the inhale, you're going to slowly unwind. And we switch. Right arm reaches out and up. And on the exhale, you come to elbow, keep sliding the arm down to shoulder and the side of the head. Come up onto the left fingertips, press the fingers down, draw the head of the left shoulder back, and gently twist from the right ribs to the left. Gentle, sweet twist, opening the whole back body, the back of the shoulders. Good. The upper back, mid back. And on your inhale, slowly unwind. Now imagine you have a tail and you're going to wag your tail to the right and bring right shoulder towards right hip. Even look over the right shoulder. So you're engaging your right side body and stretching the left. And then go the other way. Left hip and left shoulder towards each other, contracting left side. Inhaling through center and then exhaling right hip and left shoulder. Inhale through center, exhale to the left. Inhale, center, final time, go to the right. Inhale, center, and final time, go to the left. And then coming back to center. Puppy pose. Walk your hands forward about 2 hand lengths to the tippity top of your sticky mat. Come up onto your fingertips. The reason for this is we'll have more mobility through the shoulders. It will be easier to get them in good alignment. Now roll the sit bones to the sky, and notice when you roll the sit bones to the sky, it's easier to soften between the shoulder blades as opposed to tucking those hips underneath you, scooping that tailbone. It's hard to relax the upper back. So you look between the hands, you roll the sit bones to the sky. As you press your forearms down, you're charging the whole arm from the underside of the wrist to the underarm. Soften between the shoulder blades and move your hips back, bringing your ears in line with your arms. So you only move your hips back maybe 4 to 6 inches, just to the point where you can create a beautiful diagonal line from the hips to the head. One long line, keeping the natural curves in the spine. And on the inhale, come forward and back to table. So from table, we remember the center of the wrist lines up with outer edge of the shoulder. From the center of the wrist, you imagine a line that comes forward between index and middle finger, and you press the 4 corners of the hands down into the floor, especially the mound of the index finger. He likes to be a little troublemaker. Keep the arms strong, soften between the shoulder blades, and for downward dog, curl the toes under, lift your hips up, and stretch the hips back. Now this is a short dog because we came into it right from table. You might be feeling more of a leg stretch. If you find it's very difficult to have the short distance between hands and feet, just simply walk your feet back a few inches to give you some breathing room, the ability to relax between the shoulder blades. Sometimes when the feet are close to the hips, it's hard to soften the upper back between shoulder blades. On the last deep breath here, bend both knees 6 inches. Look between the hands. It's like the puppy pose. Roll the sit bones to the sky. Soften between the shoulder blades. Push the floor down and away, and now stretch the legs straight. Tone the lower belly. Relax the head and breathe. And at the end of the next exhale, lower the knees to the floor. Child's pose. Big toes together, the knees a little wide. Stack one soft fist on top of the other. Place it on the mat and then lower forehead to the fist. And allow your head to be supported by the hands. Take 3 deep breaths. Imagining an eject button right there in the center of your forehead, where you have the ability to eject and release all of the thoughts that aren't serving you. You release them to the earth, and you imagine a beautiful golden light wash over the whole body, filling those spaces that you've emptied. And on the next inhale, slowly come up to seated. And that's our practice for today. And thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.